Welcome to a brand new episode of the Post Game. I'm your host, Davion, and we are back with our Let's Talk NFL series. Today, we are talking about the Dallas Cowboys, one of the most notorious teams in the NFL. I personally don't know how they're going to do this season, but we're going to talk about it. We're going to go through it a little bit. But starting off, man, the Dallas Cowboys didn't have a great season last year. How many wins did they have last year?
I was not
Anybody
prepared
know?
with an
Seven, eight?
answer. They went third in the division last season with
Yeah.
a record of, if this would like to show me. Never mind, my computer hates the Cowboys, so that's fun.
Won't
Seven
be
and
yeah.
ten.
7-10. 7-10. And they went and they drafted 12th, an offensive lineman, obviously. So, let's think about this. I think, getting Jalen Blue, I think he's a very good running back, personally. I think he's a really good running back. I think they went and drafted pretty well. I think they also went out, got some pieces that they were very intrigued about. Joe Milton, obviously traded him from the New England Patriots as a backup quarterback, obviously. Javonte Williams, I think is a decent running back in the NFL. They went and traded for George Pickens from the Pittsburgh Steelers, another number two receiver. Um,
Oh, I forgot about
and I think, he's
that.
really decent too. So the question is though, is that what do we actually think about Dallas Cowboys? Like what kind of season do we really expect them to have? Because you got CeeDee Lamb, who's a top five receiver in the NFL. Dak Prescott, I think, is a very productive quarterback. And then the rest. So what are we thinking?
I think they finally go positive this year
Hmm. Oh,
because there's a few reasons why I say this. First reason being a healthy Prescott. It's not like he was the reason for their losses last year. He missed half the season. Um, Second of all, they've made some additions to their defense, which was a sore spot on the team. Um, but I don't want to say like I have the utmost faith in the Cowboys. I don't like the Cowboys. This is just me being a nice football fan right now. But they only put up 20 points a game last season while allowing like 28.
Yeah.
Um, Not good. I mean, considering you're in a division with the Giants, you can do a lot more with what you're given, and they couldn't even do that. Assuming a healthy team, though, I mean, they should at least contend for a wild card spot, considering how lenient the NFC is. So that's just how I feel about it. Obviously, they picked up multiple running backs, multiple wide receivers. I forgot about the Pickens trade or acquisition, I should say. Um, that that opens up more room for CD to have a more another very productive season. But dude, it's like going to be a Laramie Tunsil situation where it's like he's productive, yeah, he's going to bring you a lot of flags. Like you are bringing some baggage by getting him.
yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't know. Dallas to me is just like in this like they just remind me of like limbo. They're just in this weird spot where it's like they should be good, but they won't. You know what I'm saying? Like I think like with the positives, I think their first three draft picks were all hits. Tyler Booker was great at Alabama. I think Donovan Ezaraku was like one of my favorite edge rushers coming out of
Mhm.
the draft. Little undersized, but he's still a monster. And then the corner from East Carolina, who was really, really productive there.
I agree.
Free agency, you
yes,
know,
Rebel is going to be good.
they get rid of Rico Dowdle and replace him with Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams. So make what you want out of that. George Pickens, I think, is a great addition next to CeeDee Lamb. I will give him that. Um, and then like for their defense, they get rid of um, oh my goodness. The DN that went to Seattle. That was oh my
DeMarcus?
god. Yes, DeMarcus Lawrence. Thank you. Um, which, he was okay.
Yeah.
He was kind of hit or miss. And then like they go and like trade and sign like these players that were just like very underproductive. Kenneth Murray, who wasn't that good, Kiar Elam from the Bills, who wasn't that good and just was underperforming. Who knows if it'll be better for them or not. Um, I will say, like, I think it's really funny though, like with Tyler Booker. So I think there was like a stat. He only allowed like 2 or 3 sacks his like whole college career. And can you guys guess what team or player he allowed the sacks to?
Somebody in the NFC East.
Jalen Carter.
There it is.
So Jerry Jones said, "Oh, we got the Jalen Carter stopper," and then you draft the guy who couldn't stop Jalen Carter. So I have no idea what
Oh
that's gonna
my
be.
gosh.
What's
That
Len?
is, if that doesn't describe the
Dallas.
organization of the last 30 years,
Yeah.
So,
that's
like I said, it's
ridiculous.
just limbo. Like I just don't think I think they'll be like just underwhelming. Like they'll be like 7 or 8 wins again and just be super underwhelming.
I mean, did we
Uh,
finally get this? Like, if they go 7 or 8 wins again, do we finally see Mike McCarthy fired?
he was fired.
Oh no, they do
They
have that new guy in
It's their
there.
DC.
Some random clown that they got holding there.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Um, the biggest question is going to be Micah Parsons
Yeah.
because he's due for an extension, and if they don't do well this year,
Yeah.
good luck.
Because he got a lot of friends in that other team in Dow what state is that? Texas.
Oh yeah.
He
I
loves him
mean,
some CJ Stroud.
yeah. I mean, he's talking more on his podcast than football sometimes. So,
Uh-oh.
um, no, he's great. He's a great player. But again, like that's probably their biggest question mark is like if Micah, if they end up underperforming, what are they going to do with Micah? And then like on offense, I guess it's just Dak. Just is he truly going to be good enough to perform?
I feel like Dak is going to have, I hate to use him as a comparison, a 2024 Burrow type season, or honestly, just another Dak season.
I'm gonna say
So
Dak
If I'm
had a
being
so
great
be
honest,
the
season.
so
Who
be
was
the
that?
where,
best quarterback
so
2022?
in the
I'm saying,
NFL.
no, no, let me, wait. Let's not do too much. I should have worded it differently. The offensive production to mask the defensive issues. Like he's going to have to put in a lot of work to bring this team out of this little slump that it's been in.
I mean,
Uh,
I'd say 23 had a fantastic season. No? Like he
the
had a
team
great
let him
season.
down now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But
Right.
that's the season he
We
needs
need
to
the
have.
team to play well around him as well as his offensive production.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
he
who
can
knows?
only do so much. Like if he does well again, he should be MVP talks.
No. No way.
Why wouldn't he? He's the core of the team.
I mean, but
Yeah, but
let's think
like
about this. As we get moving over to their schedule, like here's the thing: they have to play the AFC West, which consists of the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Chargers, and
the
the Broncos.
Broncos.
Two of those teams who we think, or three of those teams who we think could even contend and beat the Eagles. And then they also have to play the NFC North, which consists of the Packers, Bears, um,
Lions
It is
Lions.
worth mentioning that
and
the
Pa-
Cowboys have the fifth
and
toughest
Vikings.
strength of schedule behind the Eagles at number 4.
Yeah, I
Let's
mean
get
that
a
whole
little
division.
untraditional here. Let's look through this schedule and let's go through the auto losses in my opinion. I think automatic losses. I think they're gonna split with every team in their division. So let's give them three right there off the rip.
No, I'll say this. I think they lose to Philly twice.
Yeah, we agreed that they'd
Oh
get
yeah,
swept
we
by the
did. Sorry.
Eagles.
So that's two right there.
So that's four losses this season so far. I think they
Yeah.
Wait. What do you mean four?
well,
Two
two was
Eagles, one from the Commanders, and one from the Giants.
yeah.
Okay.
I think they lose to the Packers.
I'm with you on that.
Yep.
I think they lose to the Denver.
Yep.
Yep.
They'll play Arizona.
I think that'll be a close one.
Yeah, we'll wait
Prime
on that
time.
one. We'll wait on that one.
We'll wait on that one. They'll play. Where are we at? Who else do I think? Chiefs, loss.
Loss.
Lions, loss.
Loss.
What are we saying about the Vikings?
They can.
That's
The
another
Vikings
toss
can win
up.
that
That's
one.
another toss up.
And then the Chargers. What are you saying about them?
I think they lose the Chargers.
And so already that's what
That's
one.
nine. We're saying 9 losses already.
I mean, godly.
So let's switch this up. So if they lose twice to Philly,
Yeah.
let's say, so they beat the Commanders last year. Okay. So yeah, we'll say they split. I don't think they'll lose to the Giants twice. Or sorry, I think they beat the Giants twice, so I'll take a loss off. I think they have like at least eight.
You're at 8. Okay.
Um,
Those Giants games last year were one score games.
now the really close games where it's like it's literally a toss up, I think is Arizona, Minnesota.
San
Um,
Diego, not San Diego. Chargers.
you can say Chargers, but I don't know. I lean more Chargers in my opinion. I mean, so if we're saying eight or nine losses, that's I guess one or two games improved from last year. So they
Yeah,
have eight or nine wins instead of seven.
that's tough sledding right there.
But it's just this is the problem. You have Philly and the Commanders, who are both really good teams. And then you have the Giants, who are just the Giants. You don't know what's it's most likely going to be bad. And then, like I said, Dallas is just in that weird like third place spot where it's like they'll be good or they'll be like fine, but it won't be good enough to win like the division or even get a playoff spot.
Yeah.
So they're just kind of stuck. And I mean, do they also play the Bears this year also?
Yeah, they do.
They
Early
do.
week 3.
So
Yeah.
like,
In Chicago.
hey, that could be another loss too. I mean, it's not looking good. And like, I don't know. For people that think like, oh, maybe it's like the NFC North where they have three playoff teams. God, no.
No,
Hell no.
not at all. Not this team anyway.
In their defense, they did only lose 3 games on the road last season.
True. You're right.
Well, they played different teams this year.
And also they didn't have Dak for like half the season, so I'll give them some grace. But like, okay, so then Oronde, if you're all high on Dak Prescott being the savior
I
of this team,
Uh-oh.
I mean, to be fair, he is, but
okay, then
continue.
do you expect at least 10 wins?
I my minimum, I need at least a minimum 2 game improvement this year. So I'm expecting 9.
You're thinking
So
9 wins?
so you're thinking Dak Prescott gets you two extra wins
Yeah. I mean,
over
they won some games with Cooper Rush for some reason. So imagine Dak was there.
what games did they lose with Dak is the question. How many did they lose?
They had an early
So he got injured
losing
against
streak.
Arizona, or sorry, Atlanta was the game he got hurt. I'm trying to see.
He lost to the early New Orleans team that was dropping
No,
40 points
that
a
was
game.
yeah, fluke. Okay.
And he lost by 3 to
Decent match.
Baltimore.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Um
remember that game. Oh,
and then
wow, yeah.
they got blew out at home by Detroit in week 6.
Yep. And then what
Lost in San
weeks?
Fran for a touchdown,
Yep,
one
I
score
remember that.
game, and
Yep.
then they lost the Atlanta
Well,
game.
okay, so the Niners game, they were getting blown out anyways, and they kept it close. And then Atlanta, yeah, is when he went down. So, okay. Hmm. So you're saying 10 wins.
I'm saying 10.
10?
No. Stop putting numbers in
I honestly, I think they just
9.
get seven again. Seven or
I say
six.
they get 9.
I'm really low on Dallas this year. I just don't think. I don't know. I just think their division's getting better,
Hmm?
Already finished my plate.
Yeah.
and there's just nothing like they could really do right now to, take that next step unless there's, unless hey, maybe that George Pickens trade ends up being a steal for him, and that's what gives them the extra boost. But I don't think they're gonna have a run game at all because they don't have a running back. Miles
No.
Sanders and Javonte Williams aren't gonna help you,
No.
in my opinion. So
Yeah, I don't think they jump up. I don't think they jump the Eagles or the Commanders this offseason. I don't think they've done enough to do that. And I think, they're still a couple years away from having a sense of identity for them to be relevant again.
now let's say if Micah Parsons is gone next year, it's
Mm.
over. Rebuild, you should just start it.
I mean, do you look to get them traded before, if like if that is the option, sign and trade type thing, or do you just?
I think they would have to try to get something out of
I
him.
agree.
If they just let him walk like the Giants did Saquon,
Oof.
yeah, dude. Um, I don't know, man. It's Dallas. You're just a. It's Dallas, man.
I find it annoying that the Cowboys have better Super Bowl odds than the Patriots.
Really?
I mean,
Yeah, 2,500 more.
I mean that's fair.
Fuck it being fair. Cowboys suck.
But Oronde, you got to realize the fucking Patriots were really bad last
Oh,
year.
I know,
Five
but the
wins?
media loves them so far this offseason. So why isn't
The
Vegas
media
being
the
nice?
media will continue to love Dallas until Jerry Jones is at his deathbed. Okay, like we just have to be honest with ourselves. They're always going to be America's number one team. They're going to get all the primetime games. They're going to get all the media attention. They're going to get everything because it's the Dallas Cowboys. And frankly, we can't really do anything about it. And at this point, we just better sit there and laugh and just
Oh my
wait.
gosh! Actually, now that you mention that, they have 6 primetime
That's
games.
what I'm saying. Every year. It's every year. It doesn't matter how bad or good they are. They're going to get the most, like, at least in the top five for the
Oh,
most primetime games.
that if you count their Thanksgiving game, even though it's at 4:30, it's 7.
And those are a lock every time. So, I mean, like, what are we doing? Like, I'm so serious. Like if I'm a Dallas fan, a realistic Dallas fan like Caden, he like I don't understand why you keep rooting for this team if they're just gonna be stuck.
I think the funniest thing about Dallas is I'm going to talk money for a moment
Uh-oh.
because if we obviously Jerry Jones he's built this team from a long time ago, but the Dallas Cowboys get a lot of their value off of just straight aura and
Well,
old money
this is the thing. I
because
will
it
give
was it was like a decade ago they were worth $6 billion. The current
I will
valuation of the Cowboys is $10 billion.
I will give them this.
They haven't done shit.
When it comes to money, Dallas, so I'm just talking about just players signing. Dallas is really good at drafting players. I will give them that. They always do really good in their drafts.
Hmm.
Free agency, terrible.
They are such
That's
a blue blood team,
yes.
Very
And like
homegrown type people.
very
especially
homegrown.
CD.
Yes. I mean, like they've hit on players. CDs, Dak, Micah. At one point it was Ezekiel Elliott when he wasn't
I
fat.
miss Zeke,
When he
Um,
early
was.
Zeke Cowboys days.
I mean, they and like their O line, they always draft good O lines, and they still end up being these middle ground teams. So like I don't know what you need to
And
change,
it's not to kick on them. Like they even have similar thing to what Foxborough is doing now or New England's doing now is the entire area around the stadium is built to keep the fans happy and make money at the same time.
but dude,
Which I get that, but can you give me a better freaking product I have to sit
that's
here
what
and
I'm
stare
saying.
at 8 times a year?
That's what I'm saying. Is there gonna be a time when they just like they literally might have to blow it up because it's gonna come, and
But what
they'll
do they have to blow up? The
I
only thing that
think
they have to blow up is their front office. That's the issue, and that's been the issue for 30
that's
years.
exactly it. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
It's not gonna get better if Jerry Jones is still there. So, and he's
Jerry
too
Jones, if you're
arrogant
listening,
himself.
hop on the pod and convince us why we should keep you as an owner.
I mean, dude, he's the one making all the decisions. His
Yep.
GM's not even doing anything. It
Nope.
doesn't matter.
He is a JM. Let's be real.
He no, yeah, he's the worst type of owner where he's way too involved.
Yeah.
And yes, there's good, but there's mostly bad
Yep.
with
I
the
hate to
Dallas
do this.
Cowboys.
Here it
Shout
comes.
out Tepper for actually watching his
Hey,
team
Whoa.
draft for
thank
once.
no, 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 no.
No,
Thank
no,
God. I'm
literally,
I'm on your side on that.
I was watching the Inside Access. I was listening to
The
the
blueprint.
our
Mhm.
beat reporters too, because I still got to stay tapped into Carolina Panthers football. Tepper was hands off in this draft process. Let the
And
GMs work.
Good
Let
for him.
the front office do their job.
Yep. Yep.
Jerry, come on, bro. You don't have the reins for way too long.
I mean, what's the point of hiring these guys if they're not going to do anything?
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
let's
know,
be
they're on your payroll,
like,
and they're actively losing you money.
like,
No, he's losing them money. Let's be real. Let's stop it.
yeah. I mean, like, even with like the coaching, they just hired a guy within the organization. Who knows how he's going to be? It's probably going to be the same product because it's just nothing's new. And he only got Mike McCarthy because they probably were doing, I don't know what they were doing back there, but
I mean, the
there
thing
was
is,
something going on.
the thing is that Jerry wants a guy who he can control. Like that's why he didn't get Sean
Right.
Payton because Sean Payton controls everything when he comes to a new team.
Right.
And like the thing is that Jerry and that team won't be good until there's separation between ownership and coaching. Like the coach needs to be able to do his job, and no one can do that when Jerry Jones is
Which
over.
is a roundabout way to say that I believe in Dak, but I don't believe in the rest of the team.
Jesus.
I believe in CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, and Micah Parsons. That is it. Those
I
are the
agree.
only three guys I would be like, okay,
I agree.
that is your obviously that is your core. But after that, what do you have? You know? So Dallas, it's just going to be another mediocre year. They'll win like two or three straight games, and the media is going to blow it out of proportion. Like, oh my God, they're going to do it. They're going to do it.
Are the
And then,
Dallas Cowboys back? How many headlines are we going to see that when it comes to week 5 or 6?
yeah, right. I mean,
Ridiculous.
it's every time.
Uh
I think y'all, we need to be more detailed.
Wait
And
a god dang minute.
hmm,
When did Jonathan Mingo get to the Dallas Cowboys?
oh,
Does
they
it
traded
matter?
for him. Remember that?
I don't.
They gave Carolina a fourth round pick for him for no reason when he was literally the most unproductive wide receiver I've ever seen touch a
Yeah.
football. But hey, we'll take that fourth round pick. We got Trevor Etienne out of that, so thank you.
What were you saying, Matt? We said we need to be more detailed.
Just I just when it comes to the media and just like all the mass marketing, it's just so much Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah,
And it's
I
like,
think we've done
dude,
a good job at staying away from the mass media outlet
no, but
platform.
I'm saying that's all they could talk about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was saying we stay away from it. Like we don't talk about clickbait
Right.
We let
bullshit.
ESPN and
Because
them
we're
do that for
aggravated with
us.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying obviously we try to avoid it ourselves because we just can't stand the organization, but people need to realize like that's all they talk about, bro.
You
Like
turn on
every
first
time.
take. I mean, that's Skip and Shannon show Undisputed, bro. That's all they talked about LeBron, the Lakers, and the Dallas Cowboys every day, every
Yep.
day.
Yep.
But
Those are the
that is
moneymakers,
the past, just
unfortunately.
like the Dallas Cowboys winning a Super Bowl. But
It's
but
true.
anyway, any final thoughts y'all have on Dallas Cowboys?
um, Cowboys fans, y'all might crucify me. I don't care. Y'all haven't seen any type of glory days since I've seen them. So
I wasn't
whine to your mama about
alive.
it.
I wasn't alive to witness their glory days, and
On God, I
I
wasn't
don't think I'll
alive.
see it. So I'll just say this. Um, you Dallas will be in this limbo state until Jerry Jones is gone.
Honestly,
Yep.
I had to
Period.
cut you off. They're kind of turning into like the Steelers of mediocrity, you know? Just a nice, good streak of
But at least with like
middling
Pittsburgh,
seasons.
they at least like make the playoffs, you know,
Yeah.
or they actually produce. Like their defense is always good. With Dallas, you don't know what it is, and they somehow end up getting 7 to 9 wins. So, hey, just wait till Jerry Jones' time's over, whether that's he retires or something fatal happens.
Uh-oh.
um, yeah, that it's just gonna be like that for until that happens. So have fun.
Well, appreciate y'all for listening. Dallas fans, let us know what you think about your team because y'all are very punctual when it comes to anything. But yeah, I'm excited to see what y'all have to say. Matt, Oronde, appreciate y'all for joining. I've been your host, Davion. This has been the post game. Peace.